Night was preparing its arrival, as the last ribbons of sunlight slowly faded across the dunes. The desert had begun to cool, breathing in the softness of twilight, a softness I felt settling gently over my own heart. The path ahead stretched long and quiet, not demanding answers, not asking me to rush. It simply existed, like a patient friend waiting for me to take my next step. Whenever I was ready, I walked slowly, listening to the faint sound of sand shifting beneath my feet, a sound that felt like a reminder that every step forward rearranges the world in small, beautiful ways. A thin crescent moon rose above the horizon, sharp and delicate, like a silver thread sewn into the vast fabric of sky. Its glow touched the earth with a calm light, a light that illuminated not the path, but the peace within me. I had spent years seeking closure from moments that felt unfinished, as though healing required a final sentence, a final explanation. But here, under this growing night, I realized that some stories are not meant to end neatly. Some are meant to echo softly, guiding, teaching, but never binding. A quiet wind brushed against my face, bringing with it the scent of distant stars and faraway dreams. It carried whispers, not of people, but of the desert itself, a land older than memory, older than sorrow. I paused, letting the breeze pass through me until I felt lighter, as if the wind had taken with it the last fragments of weight I no longer needed to hold. A small campfire flickered in the distance. Its glow pulsed like a heartbeat against the vast night. Curiosity guided my steps toward it, not urgency. When I reached it, I found no one there, just the flame dancing softly in the stillness, almost as if waiting for me. I sat beside it, warming my hands on the quiet glow. The fire crackled gently, sending sparks into the air, little stars rising to join the larger ones above. For a moment, I imagined you sitting across from me, the old you, the one I once loved, with a heart full of storms. But instead of pain, a soft smile found its way to my lips. You were a doorway to a part of myself I had forgotten. You were a reminder that love can be both a wound and a teacher. And though our paths diverged, the lesson remained, steady, warm, like the flame before me. I whispered into the fire, "Thank you, not for staying, but for leaving when you did." The fire flickered gently, as if acknowledging those words. I leaned back, looking up at the endless sky. The stars shimmered steadily, not rushing, not fading, each one a reminder that light continues. Even when distances grow wide, something within me shifted, a clarity, soft but strong. I no longer needed to chase meaning. I only needed to live it. When the fire finally settled into glowing embers, I stood and brushed the sand from my clothing. The night was deeper now, but I felt no fear, only belonging. I looked at the horizon, a quiet line drawn by fate and possibility, and it felt the night was beginning to soften, its darkness thinning into a pale blue haze as dawn prepared its quiet entrance. I had walked for hours, yet my steps felt light, guided not by need, but by a quiet intention that had settled deep within my chest. The desert around me glowed faintly, as though touched by a dream, still clinging to the edge of the world. The air had turned cool and pure, carrying a freshness that hinted at beginnings. Waiting patiently beneath the horizon, I stopped on a rise in the sand, letting the silence steady itself around me. There was a stillness so soft, it felt like the world was holding its breath. A pause between night and morning, a sacred space where the heart hears truth. With perfect clarity, I closed my eyes. For a long moment, I felt only the rhythm of my breathing, slow even, unburdened. How many times had I searched for peace outside myself? In memories, in people, in the echo of a voice that once meant everything. But here, in this gentle border between dark and light, I understood something simple and profound. Peace was not a destination. It was a decision, and today I chose it. When I opened my eyes, the horizon began to glow, a faint line of gold, drawn across the edge of the world, dawn's first breath, its first whisper. I watched the sky transform slowly, soft colors swirling together, like an artist mixing shades of hope. The stars faded one by one, giving way to the warmth of morning, yet their departure felt gentle, like a blessing rather than a loss. A small bird fluttered onto a nearby dune, its wings catching the early light. It chirped once, a delicate sound, barely more than a sigh, but there was something pure in it, something that felt like a reminder that life continues, even in the quietest corners of the world. I smiled, feeling the first true warmth of the day touch my skin. There was no rush, no longing for what had been, no ache for what might never be, only presence, this moment, this breath, this gentle unfolding of dawn. I walked forward, letting the sand shift beneath me with each step. The light grew stronger, painting my path in gold. Every dune I crossed felt like a small victory, a testament to how far I had come, not in distance, but in spirit. My thoughts wandered briefly to the love I once held so fiercely, a love bright like fire, intense, consuming. But now, memory softened it into a quiet ember, warm, but no longer burning. Some bonds are meant to teach us strength. Some wounds are meant to teach us softness. And some absences are meant to teach us how to stand alone without feeling lonely. I breathed deeply, feeling gratitude rather than sorrow. Ahead of me, the world brightened with promise. The sun edged upward, casting long shadows that stretched across the dunes, like threads weaving a story. I was ready to live. I paused one final moment. As the sun fully rose, a bright, perfect circle, lifting itself into the sky. With a confidence I felt stirring inside me, the night had settled fully now, wrapping the desert in a soft cloak of blue and silver. The dunes rested like sleeping giants, their curves illuminated by the gentle glow of the moon. Every shadow moved with purpose. Every breeze carried meaning, and the silence felt like a teacher, whispering truths I had never noticed before. I walked slowly, my footprints trailing behind me, in a perfect, quiet line. The sand beneath my feet had cooled into a smooth softness, almost like water that remembered the warmth of the day, yet welcomed the breath of night. As I moved forward, I felt something new, a sense of clarity forming inside me, the kind that comes not from answers, but from acceptance. The heart learns many things when it finally stops fighting itself. In the distance, a low hill rose gently, half hidden under moonlight. Something about it pulled me, like a memory calling from far away. I climbed slowly, my steps steady, my breaths deep and unhurried. When I reached the top, the entire desert unfolded before me, a sea of silver dunes, each one glowing like a quiet promise. The wind sang softly, tracing delicate patterns across the sand, patterns that seemed almost alive. In their gentle movement, I sat at the peak, letting the vastness sink into me. The night sky stretched endlessly above, filled with stars that shimmered, like distant lanterns guiding the lost. For so long, I had carried the weight of love unhealed, the echo of a name, the ache of a memory, the hope that refused to fade. But tonight felt different. Tonight, the weight had become light, not because it disappeared, but because I did not fear it anymore. I closed my eyes, listening to the rhythm of the wind. In its voice, I heard something ancient, something that reminded me that everything in life flows forward, even the things we thought would keep us standing still forever. I whispered into the night, I am ready, not for you, not for the past, but for myself. When I opened my eyes again, something shimmered below, a small oasis hidden between the dunes, its surface reflecting the moon, like a quiet miracle. I descended the hill, drawn by its gentle glow. As I approached, the reeds rustled softly, their movements calm, unhurried, timeless. I knelt by the water, cupping my hands to gather. A small pool of moonlit reflection. The surface trembled slightly, then stilled, revealing my own face, calmer than I had ever seen it. Not broken, not searching, just present. I whispered to the reflection, You have survived every storm. The water rippled gently, as though agreeing. I dipped my fingers again, letting the coolness settle into my skin. It felt like a blessing, one given not by fate, but by the quiet understanding that I had finally learned how to listen to myself. I leaned back, resting my hands on the sand. The desert breeze curled around me, like an embrace, soft and familiar. For the first time in a long while, I did not look backward. I did not look inward.